welcome back to episode 5 of our mini series all about the metaverse. And today we want to ask more questions, but more than just the metaverse, we're going to narrow it down to what video games are like. Because last time we spoke with Gaurang, hello Gaurang. Last time we spoke with you, we spoke about video games, right? And we were discussing whether or not we should consider some games such as Roblox and Minecraft to be metaverses.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think these games. So when you play Minecraft, when you play Roblox, what you're doing is you're building your own worlds. You're building your own experiences. You're building, your own lands, your own houses, even your own games within these games, right? So they can definitely be considered as a metaverse. Although they don't have a Web3 element, they don't have a virtual reality element, but in a way, they can be considered a metaverse. Absolutely.
Okay, so you believe that, and I would believe that too, that gaming is a pivotal part of the growth of the metaverse.
I definitely believe so because gamers are the ones who truly understand metaverses because they have been living in that world for a long time. Now, if you think about one of the first metaverses ever, which was back in the 2000s, early 2000s, that was the game Sims, right? In Sims, you had virtual currency, you had people getting married to each other, and you could do a lot of things there, right? You could live in that game. So I would say that arguably that was one of the first metaverses, and people just embraced it. So we didn't have any Web3 elements there because blockchain wasn't invented at that time. But yeah, it was quite cool at that time. Yeah.
So basically, the only thing that was missing were some key elements that we're having today in the Web three, which is like a NFT ownership, play to earn activities, and that goes into our next question. So what do you think are the possibilities that are only available in a Web three metaverse?
No, that's a great question. So I think in a Web3 metaverse, one of the most fundamental things is that you can own things, right? You can own things like your assets, you can own things like your clothes, your weapons, even your own land. And that is possible because of NFTs, which some people like to call digital collectibles, right? So because of these NFTs and this technology, you can own a lot of things in Web3 metaverses. And if you look at just like blockchain games, what we like to call as play to earn games, in these games, you can not only own things, but you can also start earning money by actually using NFTs, using cryptocurrencies, and using the blockchain technology.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. So you're talking about these games. So these games are considered as, say, like platforms, right? And what would be the main challenge for them to be able to onboard new users, new gamers, and will the gaming part of it will sort of help and ease up the onboarding of these people, of these newcomers.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I think right now all of these platforms are very niche, right? You have only gamers who use these games. If you look at the rest of the world, no one really understands it. No one really knows how to use it. And then if you come back to the Web3 metaverses, Web3 games, even in that case, you need to have some crypto or at least a crypto wallet to get onboarded into these experiences onto these platforms. That's not possible, like that's not possible for everyone, right? And what is important there is to have a very seamless UX so that people can go from one platform to the other quite seamlessly and quite easily. And apart from this, if you look at the Web2 metaverses and Web3 Web2 games like VR games and all those things, you need to have some expensive hardware like Oculus or something to start using these, right? And it's not just about the money that you need to spend on the hardware. It's also about how long can you use it. So we have seen some people who smashed into their TVs, or people who smash into their hardwares while actually their furniture while using these things. So all these things need to be solved to make it easy for people to come and get started with these platforms.
Okay, so right now there's a sort of a difference, whereas you have like development studios, game development studios, Web two game development studios that are making great games, but they don't have any Web3 element to it, right? And then you see some very, independent and indie development studios, which are, like a bit more nimble and easier, to create that Web3 sort of angle. So could it be that in the future, uh, several games will be able to use all items from one game to another, and the studios will they be able to basically open the game in order, like for the big names to collaborate with smaller names, and the assets will be able to move between games.
Yes. So let me first talk about indie games and independent developers. I cannot comment on the big studios right now because they are kind of anti NFTs and anti crypto at this point. But most of them, no, some of them are actually embracing crypto. But let's talk about indie game developers. Uh, so now, before we talk about that, let me talk about this new EIP that we are writing. It's called EIP 5606, and we like to call it Multiverse NFTs. So it is an extension of the NFT standard, which is ERC 721. Now, with this NFT, you can actually do a lot of cool things. For example, we could have a set of weapons, or like swords, or shields, or guns, which can be bought only once by the buyers, by the gamers, and you can use that multiple times across different games. In fact, we are talking to two independent game developers who are building their blockchain games, and we are proposing this idea. So by next year, I think we should have a set of weapons, set of armor, set of like clothes that you can wear in these multiple games, and I think that's really cool. I think that's going to be the holy grail of gaming because imagine, right, if you're playing the whole Assassin's Creed franchise or you're playing Call of Duty franchise, in every game that you buy on PS5 or your Xbox, you need to buy these guns and weapons again and again. But if you can just buy it once and use it multiple times, I think that's going to be a game changer. Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, well, it does seem that you are quite of a gamer yourself. And question for you then. So, what would be your, say, dream Web3 metaverse related game? What you think? Go crazy on this one. What would be your dream metaverse game?
Uh, so, okay, to be frank, to be completely honest, most of the Web3 games are not that immersive right now, But if you look at the AAA gaming standard, you have these amazing games like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, which are just fun to play, right? You can keep playing them for the whole day on a weekend, or you can just keep playing it for 2 days, 3 days in a row. But with Web3 games that we have right now, that's not the case. So I think gaming in Web3 needs to go to the next level, and the two games that we're talking with, they're actually using Unreal Engine 5 to build these games. So I think these games already look quite amazing. But beyond that, if you talk about Web3 gaming, what I think is, if you have a game or a set of games where you can take your avatar from one game to the other, where you can just buy one item and use it across multiple games, so it's like a multiverse for games. I think that's going to be the future of gaming, and that's the game I would like to play.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. Well, okay, well, I think it's that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for answering all these questions, and we'll see you again soon.
Great. Thank you, Alexis.
Bye bye.